This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
99X in the morning, X Barnes and Leslie going to get to the ticket window here in just a few minutes. Also, coming up just after 8, you're going to meet someone who is bringing something to Atlanta that I know a lot of you are going to be excited about. And this is the biggest one of these things in the U.S. So you're going to meet the guy who is bringing this to Atlanta. Give you a hint, it's going to be on the west side of town. I am very excited to meet this dude and very excited about what he's bringing.
When you say very, I know exactly where this is going.
You might not.
Yeah, right.
I went to a buddy's house the other night and went down to his basement, and a lot of people take pride in their man pits. You know, like you go down the man cave, the man pit, whatever you want to call it, the man station, and he had a bunch of arcade games, like the real thing. Like he had Donkey Kong, he had all these different, he had Tempest.
Oh, wow. Old school.
And that just brought back the craziest flood of memories. Because you remember, I mean, the golden age of that was what, late 70s, early to mid 80s.
Yeah, what was the young Barnesy playing?
Oh my gosh. And that was going to be the question, like, what was your favorite arcade game back then? 470-741-4999. But before I answer you, what was yours? I don't see you playing games.
No, I wasn't a gamer, but I'll tell you what I did love and still love. You're going to laugh, of course.
What?
Pac-Man.
Everybody was either into Pac-Man or not. I was not a Pac-Maner.
And you know what it was originally called? Puck-Man.
It was?
Yeah, originally, I guess, in Japan or something. But yeah, it was old school and I still love it.
I was not into it. I was not into Pac-Man. I was not into Mrs. Pac-Man or like Donkey Kong. I would play Defender. I would get my dad worked at a bank and I would have him bring me quarters. Like I would give him the money and bring me rolls of quarters so I could be prepared because that was the producer in me. I wanted to be prepared.
You wanted to be ready.
When I went to Circle K to like tee up, and you would put, I don't know if you remember, you would put a stack of quarters, like if you were next. So like there'd be a little row of stacked quarters across the machine.
Or you'd ask for more quarters.
The store would get pissed, like, we're out of quarters. You're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have to go out of the store and go next door to some other place and get quarters and come back.
Yeah, well, now they give you all these free tickets because they want to keep you in there.
But seeing those machines, it got me interested for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm going to buy a machine. And I was like, I'm not going to buy a machine. What am I going to do with the stupid machine?
You almost bought a machine.
No, but I mean, like I saw it and it brought back such a jolt of nostalgia. Hey, Morning X, good morning. Who is this?
Good morning, this is Brian. How you doing?
Hey, Brian, where are you from?
I'm from New York originally, but I'm here on Woodstock.
I would have never known.
In Woodstock, hello.
What was your game? What was your favorite game?
My favorite one was Shinobi. I liked anything with like the little kung fu little games and stuff, but Shinobi wound up being the one. And that was a game, we played basketball. After we got finished playing basketball and worked up a sweat, you run up to the arcade and play until they kick you out. And that's exactly what we used to do.
I don't even know that one.
Japanese word for ninja.
You never heard of Shinobi?
I don't remember Shinobi.
You don't remember Shinobi was one of them old ninja video games.
Yeah.
I was busy with spaceships, man. Come on, Brian. Brian, come on. I was blowing up asteroids.
Okay. I'll give you, yes. I played Galaga. I played all those, but Shinobi was my game.
All right, dude.
Shinobi was my game.
Thank you.
I will never forget you or Shinobi. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
Thanks for listening.
All right. Talk to you later.
Could not tell he was from New York at all. Hey, Morning X, good morning. Who is this?
Good morning. This is Jenny.
Jenny, what was your favorite arcade game?
Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter.
Which one was that?
That was the one that had the really cool music, and you just drove the car down this road, but then there's all these other cars that are trying to attack you.
Spy Hunter.
As you're driving and run you off the road. It was really hard.
Was it one of the ones with the steering wheel?
Yes, It had a steering wheel, and then there was like a little weapons truck
Ooh.
that would come every once in a while. And if you could drive up into the back of the weapons truck, you got like oil slicks and stuff to keep the bad guys away from you.
Well, that sounds like a precursor to Mario Kart, but that doesn't seem like a chick game. What were you doing on that thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It was really fun. And I was terrible at it, so I don't know why I loved it.
She had a need for speed.
She did. I pulled up the most popular of all time as far as those arcade games. I just pulled it up, and they're basing it on hardware sales. So how many they sold to operators, because obviously, the ones with the most were making the ton of money. Top 5, very interesting. Asteroids, they sold 100,000 units. Wait till you hear number 1, the difference in it.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Pac-Man was 4.
Okay.
125,000 units. And that's $4,000 a box. So like $4,000 to buy the machine. Donkey Kong was 3.
Oh, I thought that was going to be number 1.
Nope, 132,000. Then it jumps all the way up to 400,000 units. Pac-Man was 2. And then you go all the way to the top, 750,000 units of Space Invaders.
Wow.
That was a big one. Hey, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Hey, Morning X, good morning. Who is this?
This is James.
James.
Dude, what was your favorite arcade game?
My favorite arcade game was Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2, and then that kept on going, right? That kept going on to the different iterations of gaming systems?
The very first Mortal Kombat for Super Nintendo is what kind of got me hooked on it. The arcade game, the machine came out way ahead of like the home systems version. And so, I used to play a pretty good bit back in the day.
Where would you go play? Like, take us back. Where would little dude go play the game?
Man, there was one arcade where I grew up in Covington, Georgia, at Newton Plaza, Great Games. And so I used to go there every chance I could find an excuse to go to Newton Plaza or get my mom and dad to take me up there. There was some restaurants there. Highly recommend those restaurants back in the day, right? Just so we could go there.
Remember how dorky, if you look back on it now, all of us going to those arcades or even convenience stores and standing around for hours playing these games?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally, man. I would eat as fast as I could so I could spend absolutely as much time in there as possible.
Are you still playing Mortal Kombat, James?
Yeah. I definitely have the newest copy at home.
Oh, dude, a lifetime of Mortal Kombat.
I love it.
All right, man. Thanks, James. We appreciate you listening to us.
Yes, sir. All the time, man. Love you guys.
Man, that brings back so many memories. Hey, Morning X, good morning.
Good morning.
Who is this?
This is Linda.
Oh, Linda, thank you so much for calling. Best arcade game of all time. What did you love?
I loved Centipede.
Oh, I forgot about Centipede, Barnes.
Totally forgot. I tried to be a centipeeder, and then that's in the top 10, by the way, of all the video games of all time. As far as sales go, they sold almost 56,000 units.
Big time.
Wow.
Can you imagine factories are cranking those things out at $4,000? At that time, you could get a car for $4,000.
I didn't realize they were that expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
And now you can pick them up at like auctions and stuff.
Yeah.
For, I don't know how cheap, but I think not too expensive. Like maybe $1,000? Maybe?
Wow. My daughter and I were talking about that the other day. I wish I could get one.
The thought of it was enticing, but the minute they rolled it in there, I'd be like, okay, now what? Now that thing is like, when am I going to sit there and...
Go to eBay, maybe. Linda, does it bring back great memories for you?
It does. I actually used it as physical therapy at one point because I had injured my hand. And when I finally got my cast off, I went ahead and started playing that to get the manual dexterity going again.
Centipede was your therapy.
There you go.
I bet they were like, okay, get to work.
That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Appreciate you listening to us. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Linda.
Hey, Morning X. Good morning. Who is this?
This is Mike.
Mike, what was your game?
I'm going to have to say Asteroids, and I'll tell you why. I don't last. But, back in the day when we went from Pong to that arcade game, and it was like the greatest thing ever,
You're saying, that's a top 5 game.
Yeah, there's nothing laughing about that. We're not laughing.
Yeah, 100,000 of those units were out there. I would have thought more than that.
It was a big deal to go down there and try to get your name, your initials on the top of the leaderboard,
Yes. I would do that with Defender. And Defender, you could go, you would be left, right, and you would hit this button to make your little jet, your little fighter turn the other direction. I was like, you thought people were so cool. They had their style, like the way they hit that button and the way they ripped those. Yeah, that was just such a funny culture to look back on.
But the funny thing, I showed my son the Atari flashback. I showed him the Space Invaders and the Asteroids and showed him and played a little bit. And he looked at me and he looked like he felt sorry for me.
That's truth. Poor dad. What a dork. Yeah.
Wait, how did you survive the 70s and 80s?
Hey, man, I appreciate you listening to us. Have a great day.
Thanks. Love the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
The United States Soccer Federation presents the U.S. Soccer Podcast.
Inside the opening 45 seconds. What a goal! Jack McGlynn with that cannon of a left foot.
Never miss a game.
What a start for the United States.
Shot from distance. What a goal!
Never miss a moment.
Exquisite from the San Diegan. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Yeah!
The U.S. Soccer Podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.